Happy Halloween and welcome to the finale of my 5 weeks of Halloween Horror Havoc. Week number 5. The last week. And boy, what a ride it has been. We've seen some good ones, some not so good ones, and some absolute bombs. So let's jump in to what I watched over this final week. I started out with a little number from 2004 called Satan's Little Helper. Amanda Plummer's in it. I like her. She's the mother of a little boy who follows a serial killer around on Halloween night who's dressed as little boy's favorite video game character, Satan. And, I read an interview one time where Edward G. Robinson, legendary actor, did an interview where he said that he had done a really bad movie so he could buy a really expensive painting for himself that he wanted. So I'm trying to figure out what Amanda Plummer bought with this piece of crap. I've always liked her. I always thought she was quirky, unique, a very talented actress. If you're out there, Amanda, I'm plugging you. So, Satan's Little Helper. This was probably, I think, just about the worst movie I watched the whole month long. It's an F. It's no fun. It's low budget. It just absolutely reeks. It doesn't deserve anything. In fact, I believe there is a sequel. I wouldn't even bother. 1976 brought us an early slasher film called The Town That Dreaded Sundown. About a masked serial killer on the loose in a small Texas town. Potato sack over his head and very much a Friday the 13th Part 2 Jason kind of look. This is an earlier slasher film. You always hear about Halloween, the great debate between whether or not Halloween or Friday the 13th gave birth to the modern slasher film as we know them, but no, there are these other films, like The Town That Dreaded Sundown and Black Christmas. Black Christmas being a favorite I like to watch during the holiday season. But Dawn Wells was in The Town That Dreaded Sundown, and she played Mary Ann on Gilligan's Island. I didn't care for the narration in the film, but it wasn't bad, so I'll give it a B-. Okay, I've always been a fan of the video nasties. Not a raving fan, more of a passing, curious fancy fan. I've seen Faces of Death, and I've seen I Spit on Your Grave, and I've seen the Eaten Alive movie with Robert Englund and the killer alligator. I have seen parts of Cannibal Holocaust. I've never seen it all the way through. I just didn't care for it too much for what I saw of it. And then I broke down and decided to watch Cannibal Ferox. Or what is otherwise known as Make Them Die Slowly. Back in the 1980s, for those of us who remember, we had those video nasties in our local video stores that had the little signs on them that said banned in 31 countries or wherever. And, I'm never going to watch this again. I should have known better. It's just blatant gore and violence for the sake of violence and the sake of gore, just to shock you. That's a little bit of a regretter. But I will say this. When you're a drug dealer and you're going out looking for your drug dealing, drug manufacturing friends, and you come across a tribe of cannibals and you treat them cruelly, what do you think is going to happen to you? 1976, we'll go back to that year with another slasher film, pre-Halloween, pre-Friday the 13th, called Schizo. And this is a British serial killer slasher film about a beautiful figure skater who is just getting married finds out that there's a dark secret about her, and she's being stalked by a serial killer. And this was, I'm looking at my notes, this was Lynn Frederick, who was the last widow of the great Peter Sellers. She starred in this movie, and this was a good one, and I gave it an A-. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Had just the right amount of attention to it. David Cronenberg. I thoroughly enjoy his films, The Fly, Scanners, Videodrome, and of course Naked Lunch. And somebody's going to run a chainsaw in the background. It being fall here, people are not cutting wood. This was almost a zombie film I watched called Shivers, or They Came From Within. It's about a scientist who lets loose a parasite in an ultra-modern apartment building, ultra-modern for its time in 1975. And the parasite is part aphrodisiac and part venereal disease. And it gets into people and lowers their inhibitions and makes them like, I don't know, sex-crazed zombies or something. This was a real nail-biter. This was a good one. I liked it a lot. I would watch this one again. There was even a few little humorous bits in the film, too. I'd give it an A+. I liked it. And then I watched Vamp from 1986. What starts out as a gothic-looking horror film turns into a modern-day college prank involving a couple of college students who are going out looking for strippers so that they can have a party and be popular with the frat guys. Grace Jones is in this movie as the lead vampiress. I like vampire movies like this. I love dirty, ugly, sexy vampires like Lost Boys and Near Dark, which I owe a debt of gratitude to Karen for introducing me to. I had never seen that one. I don't like my vampires to be all sparkly gay. No, come on now. Vampires need to be tough. They need to be kind of sexy. But they need to get ugly and nasty when they're in their full bloodlust. But I like Vamp, and it's a B movie all the way. It's definitely one I would watch again in the near future. So that's the 6 films I watched. On to the 2, or actually 3, that I'm going to highly recommend. First of all, this year is the 20th anniversary of The Crow. The final film for the late Brandon Lee, son of Bruce Lee, who died on the set. I don't believe in the family curse. I do believe it was an accident. A dummy wad was in the gun. It was pointed at Brandon Lee too close to him. It went off. It pierced him, and it killed him, unfortunately. Brandon Lee just happened to die a sad, tragic death like his father, Bruce Lee. So, anyway, this is the 20th anniversary. I always watch it the night before Halloween, and I'll watch it this year. You can't have Halloween without the king of all slasher films, starring the Queen of Screams, Jamie Lee Curtis, 1978 Halloween. I don't have to tell you what this movie is about because you already know. Halloween is a legend, and I love it. And I'll be watching that probably after midnight on Devil's Night the 30th, because on Halloween night I get to fulfill a bucket list item. My bucket list includes numerous movies that I have never seen on a big screen that I would love to see on the big screen. Well, Halloween night, I get to fulfill a privilege, and I get to see Night of the Living Dead. At a local movie theater, and I am absolutely super psyched up about it. Night of the Living Dead is a classic. If you've never seen it, see it. If you've seen it, see it again. Love Night of the Living Dead. I love George Romero. Hasn't really made a bad film as far as I'm concerned. So, anyway, Night of the Living Dead, movie theater, Halloween night. Totally excited about it. Watch some scary movies. This is it. We're coming down to it. Halloween. I love Halloween. Thanks for tuning in. And, like I said, we watched some bombs and we watched some great ones. And, when I got to week number 4, I was kind of in that mood of like, how much more can I take? But I revamped and I rejuvenated, and I'm on fire and just having a great time with it. And this ends the Halloween season, and then Thanksgiving and Christmas are coming. So lots to do, and more videos will be coming out during that time. So happy Halloween. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.